Good morning. This is Anka Metcalf with Trade Out Loud, and this is the pre-market game plan for Thursday, August 18th, 2016, and it is 9:10 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's start off with YM. YM has retraced overnight after a really nice rally yesterday into the close, and it had retraced exactly to the area where we would like another buy to set up at 18,520. Right now it's trading at 18,528. So in extended hour Asian session, we had a really nice ascending move higher, and overall through the European session, we started the correction. So 18,520 area is going to remain our area of interest for another buy opportunity. Now, needless to say that we need the price to settle in this area. We do have multiple factors in our favor for a potential long in this area. If the long should be rejected from this price from under 18,520, and if it should hover under 18,515, then we will consider a short all the way into 18,500, and the next target would be 18,480. So this cluster right here holds the key for today's trading. So remember, a long position would be considered only over 18,525, 18,535, and the target for this is going to be 18,550. The next target is going to be 18,560, and our next target is going to be 18,580. These are going to be the targets moving forward. For the short position, however, remember, I remain cautious and will consider a position only under 18,515. All right, this is all for YM, and YM continues to be one of my favorite E-minis for today. Let's move on to ES. ES is a little weaker. In the overnight session and the Asian session, however, it did pop a little bit higher to 2182.60. However, it started to retrace, and the correction started more aggressively into the 3 a.m. at the London Open. So the next area of support that we're looking at is 2176. This is the next buy area for it. So moving forward, if we get a break over this 2178 area, 2178.50 area, we are looking long. However, the targets are not going to be that secure. One of the targets is going to be 2180, and it's not going to be a great risk to reward in this trade. So for that reason, I'm just going to skip it. But for my personal preference, but if you should have ES as one of your favorite indices and recognize this pattern, like I said, the first target is going to be into 2180, and the next target is going to be into 2185. These are the next targets for it. If we should get a break and a breach under 2176, we have a more fluidity to the downside all the way into 2170 area. This is the 2170 area with the next support. Okay, let's move on to NQ. And by the way, these are hourly charts where we form our buys. Okay, so NQ had pretty much similar pattern in the Asian session, just popped to a new high right here for this particular session into 48.13, and it retraced, and the European session came more aggressively with the bar down and a continuation lower into the next support area at 47.95. This is going to be our cluster for today. So any bounce over 4,800 is going to take it back up into 4807, 4810, 4813, and 4820. It's not going to be a very, very smooth ride up, but this is going to be the ultimate target. So basically my target for today is going to be 4820 into this area, 4820, 4838 if we should get a move higher. It's going to be a little bit tough. Needless to say, we're still in a very, very strong uptrend, and the story with the whole number has been present throughout this whole week. So we have been creating this pendulum effect back and forth through these very, very strong areas. So the area of major significance remains, the area of interest for buyers remains this 4,800 right here, which we will look at it as bullish continuation higher, with the first target into 48.10 and the next target 48.20. If we should get a breach below, remember one thing, we're going to look for a weakening factor at 47.95. This is going to be the area, and the more we're going to get a consolidation or a breach of this area, we might come back and retest the 47.80 area. Now let's move on to GC, and this is gold for today. And so far, what I'm noticing from a minor time frame charts is that gold is basing right now, and it has a range between 1354 and 1357. So quite a wide range for gold, and you can see the whippiness on the hourly chart. So yesterday we did have a really tremendous rally followed by some economic releases from Australia, and this rally just pushed price into these prior highs that you can see here, into this resistance area at 1360 and 1361. And it came back down aggressively, and again it came aggressively right before 3 a.m. So it started its descent at 10 p.m. Eastern time. It started falling through the London session, and right now it's trying to stabilize, but it's trying to stabilize in a very, very sloppy manner. So for that matter, I'm not going to really pay very close attention to it today. Being so whippy and having such a wide range will not be great for our trading, because it has a very high risk to reward factor. And let's move on to CL. CL continues to be, again, one of my favorite trades. We did switch to a new contract last night at 6 p.m. And we retraced really nicely into $47.30, which was an area of interest. We actually moved higher right before 8 a.m. And right now we are into 9 a.m. The pit is open. It has been open for about 20 minutes. We're setting a new high at $48. So yesterday we managed to break above this 47 number. We're in a secondary area of resistance. $48.20 is the secondary area of interest. However, we have been rallying for the last 6 days right now. So we have been in continuous rally in oil in 6 days. And remember, $48.20 is the next resistance area. However, if we should test this area, and if we should push through this area, the next resistance area comes in at $49.20. So it has a lot of room to run to the upside. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, for joining me right now for the pre-market game plan. Don't forget that tonight we're hosting a free webinar on how to trade the open, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of the important elements that I look at before the New York session opens. The webinar is online. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to register, please log into www.tradeoutloud.com/learn and register. Seats are very, very limited. Thank you so much for joining me today, and hope you have a profitable day.